When you hear the words financial automation, what's your initial reaction? Does it make you feel nervous and scared? Or are you on the opposite end of the spectrum and does it make you feel excited and relieved? Well, regardless of where you fall, here's the truth. When it's done right, automating your finances is not about relinquishing control. It's actually about taking charge in a whole new way. And today, I'm going to let you in on the 5 golden rules of financial automation that'll not only keep your money safe, but could also help you grow it faster than ever before. And I'm also going to share with you the platform that we've built that will truly allow you to automate your finances. So let's get started. Rule 1, have a goal. Before we start automating anything at all, the most important thing we can do, the most important step we can take is to actually have a goal. It's crucial for automations because otherwise your automations are not going to work for you and they may actually work against you. A financial goal is, just think of it as like your GPS. If you're going from California to New York, you need to plot the path that you're going to take to listen to your GPS. You don't want to be ending up in Texas or Florida or Alaska, so we need to know what path we're going to take or at least where we want to get to. So, what financial goal do you have? Maybe it's setting aside money for a dream vacation or for a down payment on a house or to pay off your credit card. Whatever it is, you got to get specific. So, for example, let's say you're a business owner and you want to follow the profit first strategy. That's where you divide your income up into a couple different buckets. Typically, profit first is owner pays represents about 50%, operating expenses around 30%, tax at 15%, and finally profit at 5%. With an automation tool like Sequence, you can actually set up the system that'll allow you to automatically send that appropriate money every single time you get paid. So that's rule 1. Now rule 2, we want to start simple. And to create a system that's always great, you gotta do the simple steps first. You don't need to automate your entire financial life in one session. In fact, that's like a surefire way to get overwhelmed and just stop doing it. So we're going to start with a simple goal, and maybe you just want to build that profit first strategy that we talked about earlier, and it's easy to do. The beauty of starting small is twofold. 1, it builds your confidence. You feel better about it, and it keeps you in control. You're not handing over the keys to your entire financial kingdom. You're just delegating one small task at a time. And as you get more comfortable with financial automation, you can gradually expand it to cover more and more of your finances. Now, rule 3. Rule 3 is about creating guardrails. And I know the word guardrails might sound restrictive and it might make you feel cramped, but they're very important. And don't think of them as guardrails. Think of them as going up a mountain path. They're not there to box you in. They're there to keep you from going off the side of the cliff. So in the world of financial automation, money guardrails in our world are called conditions. So those are our safety net that we set up. So how do you set up these conditions? Well, in Sequence, let's say you created an automation that you always want to make sure you have $10,000 in your operating expense account. Good job, by the way. Now, you might set up a guardrail that says, if my operating expenses are less than $10,000, I need you to top up that account to $10,000. Simple as that. Every time money comes in, it'll check that account to see if there's $10,000. And if there's not, it will fill it back up with the rest of the money flowing elsewhere. It's as simple as that. This will just make sure that you will always have enough in the account and not go over your $10,000 goal. So think about your automated finances. Where could you use a safety net? What conditions might help you sleep better at night, knowing that your money's protected, and even as it moves automatically? Set those conditions up and you'll be amazed at how much more confident you feel about your automated system. So now let's move on to rule 4. Rule 4 is about being ready to adapt because let's be honest, life changes constantly. Your financial life will have ups and downs. Maybe you're a business owner and you have seasonal income, or perhaps you land a big client and that changes everything. Your automation needs to be able to flex with those changes. So for instance, let's go back to that seasonal income piece. Let's say you own a bike rental business. Well, in Sequence, you might automate your savings more during the summer to help you prepare for the quieter winter months. But what happens if you then all of a sudden expand to ski rentals? Now you've got year-round income and your automations need to adapt. The key? Well, that's to review your automations regularly, right? Maybe quarterly, perhaps monthly, but ask yourself, does this still make sense in my business? Have my goals changed? In Sequence, it's really easy. Just takes a few seconds in order to change and adjust those settings. So you can tweak the percentages, change the dates, pause automations, all as you need to. It's really about keeping your financial flow in sync with your current reality. Now, remember, being adaptable doesn't mean constant tinkering. In fact, we don't want you to do that. It's more about striking that balance between letting the automation work for you while still staying flexible enough that you can change course when needed. So now we're on to rule 5, and it's last but definitely not least, automate your investing. Automating your investing is where the magic of compound interest and the power of automation really shines. So investing might sound intimidating. Maybe you haven't done it yet, or maybe you're an experienced veteran in that space. But we're not talking about becoming the next Wolf of Wall Street here. We're talking about small, consistent investments that can add up to be big gains over time. Think of it just like planting a seed. You don't need to plant the whole forest at once. You just need to keep planting regularly, keep watering, and it's amazing what that can grow into. And here's how you can do it. You're going to set up your sequence to automatically invest a small portion of your income. It could be as little as 1% or $50 a month. It could be 500, 5,000, 50,000. Wherever you are on the income spectrum, we can adjust accordingly. So whatever you're comfortable with, consistency is the key. So let's go back to our example. And let's say that you set up a rule that says every time I receive a payment, I want to put 2% into my investment account. Or at the end of each month, if my balance is above $10,000, invest the excess. Now, that's how easy it is. It takes all of the decision making out on your behalf and automates all of those operations for you. Now, you might be wondering, where should I invest? Well, I can't get specific advice. There are plenty of great options out there. You might be using an investment app that offers diversified portfolios to spread your risk around different asset class, or perhaps you feel more comfortable with the Vanguards, the Schwabs, the Fidelities of the world. All of these companies have great tools to help you find the right investment strategy based on your goals. The beauty of automating your investments is really twofold. First, it takes the emotion out of investing. You're not trying to time the market or make big risky bets. You're just steadily buying and building wealth over time. Second, it makes investing painless. You're not actively deciding to invest each time, which means you're less likely to skip it, especially when things get tight. Remember, the goal here isn't to get rich quick. It's about building a stable financial future for you, your family, and even your business, one small investment at a time. Now, you might be thinking, this is great, but how do I get my first automation started? Well, don't worry. I've got you covered. This video right here will take you through building your first automation in sequence.